Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing an April TBR. This year I discovered that I really enjoy filming TBRs. I don't know if people like them, but I think my March TBR did really good. So I'm just going to keep doing TBRs until people get tired of them. Like, I'm not going to do them every single month. I think a little mystery of like what my Anna read in a month is fun. Did I even read anything from my March TBR in March? I think I read like one thing, because then I started reading like a whole new genre. That happens to me a lot. Anyways, so let's just get into the book. The first book is Arsenic and Adabo, and I got this in my book of the month box in April, and this one sounds so good. This one is about a cook, and everyone starts to suspect that she killed her ex-boyfriend because he died by poison in her restaurant. And so it's like a mystery, and I'm like, wow, that sounds really good, and it looks really quick. And I really need to start getting through my book of the month books, because look how many books I have, and I think I've only read one. And then I have The Hunting Wife, which this one is more towards the bottom. The Hunting Wives, this one is more towards the bottom. This one just sounds like wives trying to kill their husband, you know? Typical. Then I have Chain of Iron, which I started reading. I messed up this dust jacket, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this dust jacket has been sitting on my floor for about a week. Look at my Cordelia bookmark that's inside the book. It's so pretty. I mean, she's not as dark as she should be, but anyway, so I'm about 118 pages into the book, which for Cassandra Clare, that means I probably sat here reading for like 30 minutes, to be honest. I want to read it. Like, I do want to finish it. I was supposed to finish it this week, which the week I'm filming it is like the last week of March, but I just got into like my sci-fi mood. But I don't know, like, the beginning of the book, it's good. Like, it has Cordelia, it has James, and like, no spoilers, but they're like, I don't know how to say it without spoiling, but they have Cordelia and James, you know, and I like that part. But I'm like, I am only 100 pages into the book, and for Cassandra Clare, that's like literally like 50 pages into a book, not gonna lie, because the words are so humongous on this book. But I think I just want more action right now, and it's kind of boring, kind of put me into a reading slump, I'm not gonna lie. But I really want to read, like, I really want to watch the spoiler vlogs. I do want to read those. Like, I'm curious to see what happens, but also if I put it off long enough, the third book will be out. It's not a bad idea, I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking about it. It won't be that hard. The Lost Apothecary, and this one was in March's book of the month box, and this one sounded really good. Boston talked about this in their fiction books that read like true crime, so I was like, okay, period. Like, I already own the book, I don't have to go out buying it, like, period. So I do plan on reading this. And then I have If We Were Villains, because Kari from Kari Can Read, I'm like obsessed with her channel. She was doing a video of basically dark academia books that aren't really dark academia, and I wanted to do a recommendation video of that as well, but I just want to read a few more because the recommendations right now are pretty basic, and they're good for anyone who's starting off on booktube, but I just want to make sure I recommend like good books all around. So obviously I'm going to credit her. Like, so she said If We Were Villains, and I was like, why haven't I picked that up yet? At that point I was watching the videos like 12 a.m. I was like, I could finish this book by tonight. Like, I could finish this book by like 4 a.m. if I pick it up right now. I did not pick it up. I have been too busy watching Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. I'm done watching it now. I do feel a bit empty inside, but I can now say that I can now move on to reading If We Were Villains, so I can dedicate my time to this book. This book is basically about these kids. I don't know if they're in college or not, but they're working on this Shakespeare play, and people start to die, and apparently the book starts off like one of the characters, well, it does, I literally read the first page, and one of the characters starts off like sitting handcuffed to a chair, and they're like gonna go back, he's gonna go through his memories and like tell them like what happened, because he's the one being accused of killing everyone. So I'm like, okay, this sounds good. So, I mean, of course it sounds good, but I'm in the mood to read it now, and one thing I'm going to focus on this year is reading books as soon as I feel like it, because a lot of the times I'll be like, no, like, the time will come again when I feel like reading this book, and it will, but like, who knows for how long. Like, I wanted to read If We Were Villains in fall, November. September actually. I want to read this book in September because I was going to do a dark academia reading vlog that I never ended up doing. So then after that I was like, I don't really want to read it anymore. So now I have that feeling of reading, and if I don't read it now, who knows when I'm going to read it. So, and then I'm going to read Bone Criers Dawn, which I'm going to start this one soon. And I just got the audiobook for this one so I can chill and like edit my video and listen to the audiobook. Actually, that is not possible. I physically cannot edit and listen to an audiobook at the same time. I don't know why I just said that. But Bone Criers Dawn is a sequel to Bone Criers Moon, and this book took me by surprise. It was a really good book, and this one just got released March 30th. I pre-ordered it. I liked the book that much that I pre-ordered it. And Bone Criers Moon is basically just about the society of women, and once a girl turns a certain age or a certain point in her life, she has to mate with a man on this bridge, and once like the stars are aligned, it is like the perfect time, she has to kill him. Sounds perfect. And then another character comes along, and his father was also actually killed in the ceremony, so now he's coming back for revenge, and he ends up kidnapping one of the characters, and some things happen, some feelings are felt. I'm pretty sure this book is also queer. I'm pretty sure I don't know which one is which, but my favorite character is Sabine. I don't even remember who my favorite character was. I'm pretty sure my favorite character was this bitch though. Okay, this girl was on the cover of the first book, and I realized I did not like her. Or did I? I don't remember. One of these characters is queer, and one of these characters is dating her kidnapper. This cover is so beautiful. Look at it. Like, is there anything that Charlotte Bower can't do? And then I want to read House Castle. I love this movie, and I did start this book. I have a bookmark in here. I've been ordering from Book Depository recently, and thank God they sent a bookmark for every single book. Like, I ordered 4 books and they sent a bookmark for every single book, because I keep 3 by my bed, like 3 just on my bed, because I pick up books randomly, and I keep a bunch. I'm actually running out. I just have bookmarks everywhere, because I will start a book, put a bookmark in there, and then we'll be on page 1 and be like, I'm gonna put a bookmark in here, and then nothing will come out of that. Like, I won't finish it, and then I just have bookmarks everywhere. So honestly, throwaway bookmarks are what I need. Like, free bookmarks are all I need in life, to be honest. Anyways, I wanted to read House Moving Castle. I was going to do a spring book recommendations video, and this book was going to be on it. I might still do the spring book recommendations, but it would be in May, which what would be the point, because then it would be almost summer. I could just save it for summer. The one thing about doing like spring and summer recommendations is those books you read in spring could be easily read for summer. Same with fall and winter, low key. So I could just put it in the summer. I'm definitely going to be doing a summer recommendation. I love summer, love fall. Like, there's always going to be a summer and fall recommendation. Winter and spring, who knows? Maybe I'll do it for next year. Maybe I'll do spring recommendations for next year. This book. I'm still going to read it though, because I do want to recommend it in some videos. And I hear that this is a lot different. Already from the beginning, I did make it pretty far in the book. I'm about 60 pages into the book. And even from the beginning, like, it's a lot different from the book. Like, she has 2 younger sisters. And even why she acts so maternal, like, makes so much sense. I also love Sophie because I'm an older sister, so I also act maternal a lot. The way I talk to my brother Daniel, I literally talk to him as though I'm his mom. It's so frustrating. So it's like, I like Sophie in the movie anyways, but I just like Sophie in the book because so far she reminds me of myself as an older sister. Haven't gotten that far yet, so my feeling could change, but I don't know, I like seeing like older sisters in books, and like how I like seeing older sisters act maternal in books, you know? You don't always get that, you know. You ain't gonna get that with Sarah J. Maas. And then I got The Bone Season, which I have to read this month because I hauled it recently and I want the entire series. I am obsessed with these books right now. I don't know what it is. Like, I go through phases where I'm like, I don't really care about these covers, and then like I'll run and be like, you know what, this cover is actually pretty fucking cool. I want it. And then I'll get it, and now like I want the entire series in. So I'm not gonna get the entire series until I read it. But I was gonna read it like when I started my sci-fi obsession, but then I started my sci-fi obsession. So, but I'm gonna be reading it. I heard that the villain is similar to the Darkling. You know I love the Darkling. So, and then I have Dune. Y'all knew this was gonna be here. Come on now. It's in every route. It's like in every TBR video. Like it never misses. I do have to read this because I want the hardcover with the blue spray edges, and I told myself that I'm gonna stop buying editions of Dune until I read the book and I know if I like it. I mean, I can always sell it, like, and I can always sell it on Depop or just sell it in general. So like, I personally don't care, but I've been spending less money lately, so that would help if I would stop buying stuff just because I want it. So I will be waiting, which is why I have to read this book soon, because one thing I learned is that I have to read this book before August, period. I want to read it in April. I'm going to read it in April, period. But if I don't get into April by something, I have to read it before August, because the price will go up on the hardcover book with the blue spray edges. It might even be harder to find, to be honest, because once a book is turned into a movie and the trailer's released, everyone wants to buy all the special editions, or even when the movie is released, everyone wants to buy all the special editions, and it will be hard to find, and I want it, so I'm gonna get it. I am actually currently reading Leviathan right now. I'm buddy reading this with Jocelyn. We are 200 pages into it. Well, hopefully we are both 200 pages into it. I definitely am 200 pages into it. And this one just is about this girl named Julie who's always missing. This detective named Miller who is looking for her, and then Holden, who just happens to like run across Detective Miller, I think. And he comes across a possession of a secret they never wanted. A secret that someone is willing to kill for, and kill on a scale of unfathomable to Jim and his crew. Which sounds so good. I'm really liking it so far. I really love Holden. Miller's okay. Okay, I don't hate him. I just like, when I read his chapters though, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, like, let's go back to Holden. But that's because I'm like kind of obsessed with him right now. And then I have Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which I did start. Another one of my bookmarks that I was saying. I'm actually much further than this because I started this at work. But this one, so far from what I know, it's just about this girl who ends up on this ship. And it's called the Wayfarer. Well, the crew, well yeah, the Wayfarer. And she really isn't expecting much. I really don't know. But yeah, the part where I got to, she was like introduced into the crew. And I just didn't finish it. It's not that the book was boring. It just like nothing was happening, but I only just started the book. So sometimes I have to remind myself that books don't have to be exciting from like the first chapter, and sometimes they take a minute to get to the point, and that is okay. So I'm gonna be picking up this book obviously again, like I own it, and it matches my outfit a little bit, and I love these covers. So I obviously I'm gonna be picking it up back in April. I want to make sure that I pick it up in April. But Vita Nostro, which Jess from Jess Owen talked about in one of her videos, and I was like, okay, I have to have this book. This is a translated book, so there's only one book out right now. If I forget which language it's translated from, but in that language I think more books are out, and this one is a dark academia book about this girl who receives this coin. In the summer, her mentor directs her to use the coin for this Institute of Special Technologies, and then she's also like found that the school is actually pretty difficult, and it's actually really hard, and instead of the students being punished, their families are the ones that are being punished. And I was like, okay, dark academia, you already have me there. People being punished that don't deserve it. Okay, like, sounds good, I'm not gonna lie. The last book on my list, I do have like some graphic novel mentions. Well, just one, which is Ender's Game. And this book is about Ender Wigging, and he is brilliant, cunning, and ruthless, and he's a tactical and strategic master and a child. The military recruits him, and Ender's childhood moments leaves after he enters a battle school among athletes. Ender proves himself to be a genius among genius. He excels in simulated war, but is the pressure and loneliness taking a toll on Ender? Stimulations are one thing. How will Ender perform in a real combat conditions? After all, battle school is not a game. Battle school is just a game, isn't it? I already wanted to read this, like obviously that's why I freaking bought it, but the Goodreads description and the description sound like two different things, and the Goodreads description made me want to push it down my TBR. But then I read the back of the book and I was like, okay, this actually sounds amazing, so I'm gonna rereading this soon. And then a graphic novel that I want to read this month is The Long Halloween. The Long Halloween has been picked up for an animation. Well, it's already been picked up. Like the voice actors have already done their job and everything. But Naya Rivera is going to be playing Catwoman, and she finished her recording for both this movie and the part 2. So I just really want to make sure I get the book, the graphic novel, and read it before it comes out. It's set to come out in spring or summer, and The Long Halloween is basically based on this whole year of like Batman trying to find like this villain. And I actually was gonna get this book when I was obsessed with reading comics. I'm still am, like I read them every month obviously, but I was gonna get this, but then I was like, no, like I'm gonna save my money and wait till this paycheck. And then when the paycheck came, I was like, I don't really want the book anymore. But now it's gonna be picked up for a movie, I have to see it, duh. And Night Revere is playing Catwoman, which is like the best freaking choice ever. And I've been missing Night. It's so ironic because I was watching this TikTok of Night Rivera from on Glee, and she was like singing and dancing, and I was like, wow, I actually really miss Night Rivera so much. Like I looked up to her character Santana. It's such a weird thing to say because Santana was like technically a bad person in the show, but I think there was more to Santana's character than just being mean, and obviously there was. But like in high school, I like was obsessed with Santana. I was obsessed with Night Rivera. I remember when she dated Big Sean, like that was like the best moment in my life. Like I was so happy for both of them. Like I don't know, I used to be obsessed with Night Rivera in high school, and so I was just thinking about her, and it was so ironic that it ended up being announced that she was going to be the voice of Catwoman. I think that Night Rivera would have made a perfect Catwoman, like live action, but I also think, I know she'll make a perfect Selena Kyle in the animation anyways. But I have to read it so that I can, I mean, I'm gonna watch it anyways, but I just want to read it so I can be familiar with the story before I watch the movie. So yeah, that is it for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a green emoji down below. And I'll see you guys in my next video.